how to never feel tension ever again. Firstly, it's part clickbait because you can feel tension in any level of piano playing. You're not immune from tension. Tension is basically muscle fatigue when your muscles develop the lactic acid, basically when you get to your muscular limits, your endurance limits. It's not about strength, it's about after many repetitions, you get to a certain limit and lactic acid accumulates in the muscles. That's tension. Some movements are harder than others, so you can reach tension quicker, and some movements are easier to execute and you can do them more effortlessly. For example, if I do 3, 4, 5 exercise and I will try to do it constantly, I will get fatigued much faster than normal scales that I can probably do for much longer time than 3, 4, 5. So different movements are harder and you can reach tension quicker. So how do you never feel tension again? You need to adapt each time to a new level of difficulty, of new level of workload. When you start the piano, you can maybe play a few notes and you start your muscles start to cramp maybe after a few notes. In the most insane level, you can see Yuja Wang, for example, played all the Rachmaninoff concertos in one night. That's an insane amount of endurance. That's a feat that is very difficult. It's like the top of the top. Now, even Yuja, if you would ask her to do that again, like play the 5 concertos again, probably her hands would cramp up because of the amount of workload is insane. So you gotta understand that it's not like you reach a point where you don't feel tension. Even if you can play a piece well, if you play it enough times, your endurance limit will start to be a problem. You would start to feel tension. And that's for everybody, but everybody has different level of endurance. The more advanced you get, you can do more without feeling anything. So, what is your goal when you train? Firstly, your goal is to practice in complete control. You need to practice in a way that you control every note and every dynamic level to develop the muscle memory that you want to develop. And on top of that, you want to develop your endurance. You want to push your hands a little bit, just enough to cause adaptation. And after recovery, your hands will be completely fresh and fully recovered, but your ability level, your physical capacity is a little bit better. If you do it constantly, your endurance level will slowly and surely will start to improve a lot, and you will get eventually to the point where almost nothing can cause you to feel muscle fatigue. But you need to push your limits gradually in a relation to your own level. Don't try to do as much as possible. That will cause injury. You need a correct balance between a healthy amount of stress for your hands through repetition and accumulating workload, and then recovery, enough recovery, like complete recovery between sessions. And you can think about it like that. When you go to a walk, walking is pretty easy for everybody. You go in a comfortable pace. But if you go for 2 hours, you start to feel like your muscles are start to get tired. And that's basically piano playing. You do your repetitions in a pace that is very comfortable. You don't need to try to fuck up your muscles or do really, really intense work to get them tired as possible. You can do that, but I will get into that in another video. So basically, you accumulate repetitions and you achieve a certain, you get to a certain workload that your muscles are kind of tired, and that tiredness, that fatigue will cause adaptations, and after recovery, your body will be able to have more physical capacity. You do it enough times, gradually, and you will get eventually to the point where you can play almost anything without problems. That's it. That's how to never feel tension ever again.